Welcome back to Light Talk, where everyday people can share their own unique spiritual journey stories with a safe and supportive community. And if you have a story you would like to share, email lighttalk423@gmail.com. And while you're at it, click on the like, share, and subscribe buttons down below. Hey, we have a person that I have brought back. Her name is Addie Halkin, and we have a story to tell you of an experience that we have shared together. So I'm going to have her kind of introduce herself again, and then we'll kind of start in with this unique story. Go
Excellent.
ahead.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a co-creation experience that we both had, and I would say I want to say maybe late spring, early summer we met. Dana had put out a post about just asking anybody that wanted to come on her podcast to come on. And I saw it and I liked her topics. And I thought, well, I've been kind of resisting getting online. And so why not? And then, so I responded back to her and she got back to me and we realized that we lived close to each other. So we met up a few times and found that we had a lot in common with, both enjoying tarot cards and both open spiritually and just, we had the podcast thing in common as far as having an interest and doing it. And so got together a few times, had a good time. And at one point, I started to get really funny feelings. And it had to do with Dana. And I initially was very hard on myself about it because I just kept thinking to myself, why are you, this person's been nothing but helpful, nothing but nice. Why are you having negative, weird feelings about this person? And and so I kind of went through some weird feelings around Dana, and feeling guilty. And then it was weird. It led to like a depression. I know that doesn't make any sense, but that's what was going on. I tend to be very clairsentient, and so I pick, empathic, and so I pick up on a lot. But I went through probably what I would say 2 days of actual heavy depression around this, totally not understanding really what was going on. And then on the third day after that, I woke up and I felt like drained out of my mind. And I started to feel like a punching on my right chest. And then I felt it in my abdomen. And I've never had this experience before, but I instantaneously knew that it was some kind of entity attachment. And I knew that it was Dana's. And that's why I kept going into these like negative thoughts and feelings around her. Um, and so I I wasn't quite, I was glad that I understood what it was. I asked for protection immediately because it felt bad. And I did start feeling better after that, but I was still not sure what to do because I have picked up on these kind of things on other people. And every time I've picked up on it and I've tried to tell somebody about it, they've gotten nasty. The friendships ended. I don't know. I think I'm really good with the intuition part, but not necessarily always the best around who I attract around me. And so I was afraid to tell Dana what I had picked up on because I didn't want the friendship to end. I didn't want any hard feelings. I personally don't judge when somebody's got that going on. It's really easy to pick up on those things. I've had them before. So um, I was unsure. And then there was a couple times where Dana and I were supposed to get meet. We were supposed to get together. And she ended up forgetting, which doesn't bother me. I'm not a stickler around that stuff, but I thought it was unusual because in the past she'd always been like really prompt, and it just didn't seem like her to do that. And so it occurred to me that it was probably the attachment. That thing didn't like me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I think maybe it was me a he, but I think that he maybe understood that I could pick up on him. And so I think that he may have played a role in helping Dana forget to meet up. And so I was still unsure about, telling her. And then she asked to meet up a third time, and I thought, well, I guess that's probably my my clue. I probably should tell her. I know that I would want to know if I had something like that going on. So we met up and I proceeded to tell her kind of what I had been picking up on. And she had a bit of a confused look on her face. Um, and she said, but I've been feeling better than ever. And, the only thing I could think of was, well, usually we don't know when we have these things attached. But I continued to kind of talk about it and I was referring to it as a he. And that's when a light bulb went out or went off with her. That's when I think, something clicked with her. And so why don't you go ahead and tell people what happened? And before you start, I just want to say we scheduled to meet on a Monday for that following Friday. And so she proceeded to tell me about something that happened on the Wednesday in between these 2 days. So go for it.
Yeah. And so here I am one morning on that Wednesday morning. I heard this really raspy voice saying, "Help me." And so instantly I went like, "Oh, this didn't sound really good." So I instantly asked for protection and told it to leave, that it needed to leave now. And when I ask for the protection, I'm asking for all my angels and my light family, is what I call them, everybody in the afterlife or in that realm, in the light. I asked them to protect me, as I didn't feel comfortable with that raspy voice saying, "Help me," for some reason. And so at that point, I had closed my eyes. I had my eyes closed, I think, the whole time, but I closed my eyes and I started seeing all these bright lights coming up from the side, coming up like this, and just kind of a little bit from the front there. And that was it. And that was about it. And then we get together again, Addie and I, and then it goes back to Addie.
So when she told me that, I was like, whoa, because it triggered me to remember that 2 days prior, which would have been that Wednesday, I started having like very different thoughts about this attachment. Like I was, before I was irritated and I was fighting with it and I was constantly having to remind myself, it's not Dana you don't like because the energy gets enmeshed and it feels like it's the person you don't like, but I had no reason not to like her. I mean, so I
Yes.
constantly was having to like, no, I mean, that didn't make any sense. So, I'm telling myself it's not Dana you don't like. And then all of a sudden, all of that went away on Wednesday. And I was feeling like I was getting all these thoughts of like, you need to have more compassion for these attachments. They're just souls that are hurting. Like I was having all these positive, good feelings. And I think I was giving myself credit that I was growing so much, but it was really that Dana had cleared she'd cleared the attachment. And I just want to say about that, I have heard that is like the most powerful way that you can ever get rid of an entity attachment. There's nothing wrong with going to somebody to do it for you. That's still very, very effective. But when you do it yourself, that's powerful. And so I was so happy to hear that. And I truly know that she got rid of it. Like I just haven't been tortured by by an entity attachment around her ever since. So it was a pretty powerful story, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty wonderful. And the way it connected with both of us and how it just kind of um the energy of yours and your skill set, you felt all of this, and here I
Yeah,
am not knowing what's going on, and then have this voice, a male, it was a male voice, by the way,
yeah.
too. So, you know, um the male voice coming through, and it's like, okay, you need to leave. And
It really
it was
shows
tough. Yeah.
how open you are. How open and willing you are to do that kind of work. Like I said, you're the first person that's been willing to do it. Everybody else has been like, yeah, screw you, I'm done. I'm done with you. So, thank you for being open and, you know, it that's all it takes is a willingness to, keep your energy clean. And
Yeah,
you probably helped that soul. And when you were telling me that story about, you said that there was like a light show, like a white lights
yeah,
from each direction. I saw
right.
that in my mind's eye and it was beautiful. I mean, I just
Yeah.
saw it.
It was so bright, even though my eyes were closed, it was so bright that I was squinting my eyes because it was that bright. I mean, typically you wouldn't see it as that bright to where you have to like squint your eyes. But this one was. So it was a strong energy or something because it was like I say, it was just so bright and coming from all directions and
Oh,
something helped me for sure. And I thank him so much, and
yeah.
yeah, it's crazy stuff.
It's it's beautiful though. I mean, that does, like I said, that takes a willingness. Not everybody would be willing to be that open, um, to even be, have the awareness. Like that came from your awareness. That came from, you know, if you're blocked up, you're not going to know that that's happening, that you have that attached. So I didn't even actually need to tell you because you had already done it. But, I had fought with that thing for so long that I wasn't sure if it was there or not anymore, but
And
pretty,
I'm feeling bad after she told me. I'm like,
no, that's,
I was like,
it,
oh
I have to take responsibility. I mean, if I was, uh, more strong with boundaries, I may not have been fighting with it. So, but I think it's cool because it shows the interconnectedness of all of us. I mean, the connection we have to each other, even the connection that we both had with this attachment, you know, it's all connected. So, and yet, like
no.
I said, you probably helped him. You probably helped him if he was willing, go back to the light. So,
Well, it's funny that he said, help me. That was there. Maybe he was getting to you to get to me or vice versa or what to be able to get that message out to help him. Maybe he was just here to ask for help.
yeah, maybe so.
Uh, Yeah,
But
possible.
he didn't like me. I'm not gonna lie. I've never had one punch at me. Yeah.
Well,
It,
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
it didn't hurt. It was just like, wow, what is this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I felt nothing. It was just really nothing except for that voice that came through and
I wonder
said,
how
okay.
long he was there.
I don't know. I didn't even know he was even here or anything like that. So that was kind of interesting for me because
It might have been like a short-lived one. And he just needed you to be able to cross him over. I don't know.
yeah, needed
Interesting.
you to feel him or something like that, to contact you, to contact me, to contact him, to contact
Yeah, I'm thinking it was something like that. There's some dial this
something
one
off
up.
that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
along that weird line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And very well handled by you. I just appreciate your lack of ego and stuff like this. You don't you yeah, thank you for being you. I appreciate it. And there is a part two to this story, by the way. We just
Yes,
have
there yep.
it's a much more in-depth, really for me, one of the most meaningful spiritual experiences I've ever had, but it would probably take up too much time to get into that one. We'll do a separate video on that.
Yeah, we'll get together and I'll try to put this back to back so
Oh, cool.
you guys out there can hear this one and then, oh yeah, that's what they were talking about. And you know how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes in much, much deeper.
Yeah, really it
It
does. And
goes deep.
to the point of this next story we have, it's not over. We don't fully yet know what to do with this information, but it's very powerful stuff. So um it'll
Yeah.
continue, I guess.
To be continued.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
Yeah, this has been just fantastic. I'm so thankful that Addie was able to or willing to come in and share this story, and it's been it's been a ride for this one. It
Yeah.
definitely has been a ride. It's been kind of up, down, kind of a roller coaster kind of situation.
Yeah, but all good in the end. I mean,
Yes.
uh, for for me, nothing was ever personal with you. It's just the energy that I have uh, picked up on with you has just been really eye-opening for me. And the messages that have come through are just incredible. And I can't wait to share the next story. And I appreciate, I think we both helped each other because I know that Dana is who got me started on my podcast, which is called Blowing Solutions Wide Open. And I was really hesitant to try anything online because I've tried before and it's just never worked out. And so, um, your podcast is doing more than just, telling some really awesome stories, but it's providing a platform, in a way that I think makes people comfortable to come out and really share the things that they know spiritually because, um, while it's getting more normalized, it's been a kind of a climb to or a little bit of a fight for people to show their intuitive side and you know feel good about that because it was that stuff was so suppressed for so long. So it's a good thing that you're doing.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. And I've definitely have had a blast doing it. I mean, I've like I say in my other shows, it just kind of came to me. I'm just standing in the living room and it's podcast comes to my head. It's like, oh, I know nothing about. I'm still trying to learn this stuff. I mean, I'm about a year and a half, a little over that now, and there's so much to learn and
Oh,
this and that, and it's been a ride, but it has been a joy ride. I mean, I have had so much fun with each and every one of my guests coming on here, and we've got more coming. So
yeah, that's
yeah,
good. Yeah,
yeah, it's been so much fun.
I love what like the way that you started it. You know, I think she's told this story, but she followed the nudges of Source. And when I heard that, I went, wait a minute, I can do that. You know what I mean? Like, I hate strategies. I hate, you've got to do this, make sure you're only following this so many people and make sure that so many more people are following you. I hate those kind of salesy strategies. And to hear someone that was just like, I just started a podcast because, I heard a message from Source. I'm like, that's what I want to be part of is just that kind of authentic, you know, kind of thing. And so, yeah, I love how you started it. It deserves to be seen. And thank you for doing it.
Yeah, it's been like I say, it's been fun. I'm learning a lot. I've become a little more relaxed, but I'm still giddy over it because it's just so much fun. I mean, the stories, I mean, I love hearing everybody's stories and the different things that are happening, and I love to tell my stories. And it's, I can't say enough. It's just so much fun to do this and to hear everybody. And I've gotten to know so many different people now from all over. And it's just been me.
Yeah.
I never ever dreamt of being in this spot right now. So it's been a joy. It's been absolutely a joy and hoping to raise even more energy around the world with this and raising my energy, raising everybody. I'm just
Yeah.
been having
Win,
so
win,
much fun.
win.
Win, win, win. That's right. That is
That's
right.
that's where it's
Yeah.
at.
Yeah. Well, do you have any other fun stories that's happened to you since did our other show?
Yeah, I did have I've been having a lot go on in sleep because I think that's a really easy way for Source to get through. And I had recently I'm not going to say who it was, but I was having a dream-ish kind of thing. And it was a child. And I went to her school to pick her up. She was with a lot of her friends. And I was actually looking for the people that were really supposed to pick her up. I don't really know why, um, but I was there first to pick her up. And all of a sudden, I hear myself in this dream state, like saying, see the light, and people like screaming, see the light, see the light, see the light. And then I see my right hand reach up, and I didn't actually see this, but it was like a knowing. I like pulled some kind of demonic energy out of her, and my hand and my wrist hurt when I did this. And then I woke up right after that. And I've never had an experience like that before. Um, but I know this child, and I know like the situation she's in and the people she's around. And I'm sure she picked that up by, from some of the people that she's around. And so, um, I don't know. It was just, there's so many things that we can do in that sleep state. I think a lot of people, um, they go around and they do all kinds of things that they may not even be aware of, when they're asleep. And so I guess I was kind of floating around, trying to help a little kid with a demonic attachment that didn't need to be there. I don't know. It's
Have you,
interesting that it
yeah.
hurt. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
have you talked to that child since
No,
then?
I have not. But I did observe this child sleeping one night, and I didn't really fully put it together at that time, but she was kind of moaning, and she like for 10, 15, 20 minutes moaning and groaning like she was fighting with someone in her sleep. So I guess I'm not really surprised that that happened. Because I think that that was, probably something that she'd picked up on, and then, I saw as something that didn't need to be there. But
Yeah.
I didn't realize I could do that. So kind of interesting.
Well, that's kind of cool because I'm curious to know now if she's feeling different since
Right.
then or
She's pretty young, so I don't know, I don't know that I don't know if she would really be able to verbalize that, but
okay,
maybe.
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 Or just
Yeah.
in her actions or something like that. You might be able to kind of see if she's a little more loose or if she's still tense or
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Maybe next time I see her, I'll kind of observe, because there was some things I observed in her actions that didn't seem over like totally normal to me. So, um,
yeah, that'd be
yeah,
curious.
yeah.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I've been having a lot of dreams myself lately. It's a lot about work
Oh,
and it's really, really weird.
is it? Are you feeling like you're getting any messages out of it, or?
Nothing just yet. It's just kind of like being there and just things happening when I'm there at work. And it's not even the place I'm currently working at. It's just a work atmosphere. It's
What's your feelings in these dreams? That's usually how I tell what they're about, is like the feel of it.
just that I'm like busy.
Oh,
It's not I haven't caught on to it yet. I haven't caught on to anything big with it. Um, I'm going to go back through here pretty soon and start rereading all of them so I can start picking up on different things that is like repetitive or not. I did have a couple of them that was really I've never had this before, but it's a full dream, but it was like in a loop. So it replayed like three times,
no.
if that makes sense. So it's like playing this video here and then putting it on a loop and it'll just replay the whole thing again
In the same dream?
in the same dream. So it just repeated just looped. I shouldn't say repeated or but it just looped like
Huh.
three times. Yeah, I've had a few of them do that. It's like, oh, that was weird.
About
And
work or other things?
yeah, yeah,
Work?
work. Yeah.
Huh.
I know the other one I've been having a lot of dreams of is the mountains. So I know that one is like you need to get up there, you need to go see it, you need to get out in the open, ground
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
That's your soul talking to you. Yeah.
Yeah. A couple times I even lived up there. It's like, oh, that would be so
Oh,
nice. But yeah,
maybe one day.
maybe someday. Yeah, maybe. If I
Very
could get my
cool.
husband to go up there. He'd rather be in the background here.
Oh. Oh well.
So it's
Yeah,
all
you'll
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Visiting or living, you'll be happy.
Right, right. I just need to get up there some more. But
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good. It's joyous. It's joyous.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to get together
Hmm.
and again, and we're going to say part 2 of this crazy ride that we're on together, you and me together on a ride with our hands up.
Oh yeah, this one is a doozy. This next one. So much so that if any of your audience, well, I'll say it in the other video, but if any of your audience has ideas around it, I think we'd love to hear because
Oh, yeah.
I think we're both kind of like, wow, what do we do with this information? So,
There's some of it that's, yeah, it's, I don't want to talk too much because then we're going to start going into it. But yeah, I'm so excited about it. So, so excited about it.
yeah, me too.
And yeah, so if anybody out there in the audience has any stories you want to share that's similar to this, or even cryptids, or any spiritual stories, or paranormal, you name it, anything of the unknown, email me at lighttalk423@gmail.com, and let's get you on the show and get your story heard. So, and while you're at it, click on the like, share, and subscribe buttons down below. And we will talk with you guys all next time. All right. Thank you, Addie. All right.
Thank you
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.